be my rants and gems.
As a buyer, let's talk to the person who's never heard of Naca before, right? Let's break down the qualification. Like, what's the minimum credit score? You know, what's the, because I know it's a savings pattern.
Yes,
Let's break down like the ABCs of Naca of how to get approved for a Naca loan in 2022.
Okay. So to be approved through Naca in 2022, like I said, you already need to have money. However, Naca goes according, there's two things that they don't play with. One of those are your rent pattern. You must pay your rent on time. So if you were on time with your rent all year and it's time for you to go to your qualification in March and you miss January, guess what? Your year just started again in February.
Wow.
That's one thing that they don't play with. They also don't play with savings. You need to have some type of savings. So in New York, what's ideal for a single family is $2,600 a month. But if your rent is only $1,500, then that means that you are now saving $1,100 a month. You cannot stop or skip a savings. Once you establish whatever your savings pattern is, whether it's $50 or $1,000, you need to do that until the closing table.
So with the rent, let's just say I live with mom and dad. I live at home. I live in the basement because this is New York, right? Most people can't afford to go get a $3,000 apartment. They're living at home, right? So do they have to pay mom and dad rent? Can they live at home and not pay any rent and still get approved?
Well, you don't necessarily have to pay your mom and dad. So if you were lucky enough to have one of those mom and dads that don't charge you, because you know how it was growing up.
100%. You're going to pay.
Exactly. So if you were lucky enough, then you need to that is now your savings. So again, even though you live with mom and dad rent free, you don't want them to know how much money you make, you're still saving that $2,600 a month so that this way you can show it to Naca. However, instead of a year, they want 8 months.
8 months.
8 months.
Now, as far as the savings pattern, like you said, so if you want to get a mortgage that's going to say cost you $4,000 a month, you have to show that you are saving $4,000 a month.
Correct.
Every single month for at least 12 months.
Correct. It's either rent plus savings that equals $4,000 or it's just savings.
Okay. Now, what if you don't have that?
Then you will not be approved for $4,000 a month. And then this is where Diamond Mine Real Estate start coaching you and say, you know what? Okay, I understand you like that house with those taxes, but you're more in this area over here. We're gonna find some nice ones over here. Don't worry about it. That's the next house.
Go for that one.
Yeah.
Because you ain't saving enough.
Yeah, we're a little bit over here.
So, but the key I think you said is don't break the savings pattern though. Because sometimes people go through these programs and then they say, oh, I got pre-approved. Then they go find a house. It may take them 3-4 months. But in that 3-4 month time after they got approved, they stop saving.
Right, and I've seen that happen as well. So we've helped people where they were approved 3-4 months ago. They didn't upload anything. They didn't do anything. They done bought a car. They did anything, everything that they were told not to do, they did it. And and when we put them in contract, I've seen the bank walk away. It's like, okay, well, you no longer qualify for this amount that we gave you.
So you gave us 3. So all right, before I go on, what's the minimum credit score?
620.
620. What if I got a 615?
Then you're waiting a little while.
Okay.
We'll work with you to boost that up a little bit.
I was about to say some shit.
I love her conflict resolution. We're just going to wait a little while. You're just going to have to buy over
She's
here
so
in this other
politically
area.
correct with
It's
it.
just so politically correct. I love
We're just
it.
going to have to wait a little bit.
You're just going to have to wait a little while.
Now, when we heard from Dre earlier, he purchased multifamilies with Naca. Now, the loan limits I've been hearing haven't changed,
No.
right? So Naca, so explain like the loan limits for Naca.
So Naca is still using 2019 conforming loan limits.
Wow.
So in New York, for a single family home, they're at 726. However, in Georgia, because Georgia isn't considered high cost yet, they're at 484.
I know.
Now,
It's a shame.
for a two family here, they're at 930. For a three family, 1.124. I know I do this all day. For a four family, we're at 1.397.
That doesn't get you much in New York.
It doesn't, but that's why you need to have an agent that's not just seasoned in Naca, but you also need to have like a real estate agent. So when you get people that say, you know what, I can't get your house because I don't know Naca, oftentimes it's also because they don't know real estate. So,
You woke up and chose violence today in Brooklyn, huh?
I chose violence.
You choosing violence. They don't know real estate. Keep going, Queen.
It's like you need to understand real estate. There are houses for under 726, and everyone knows that. Okay, so in Suffolk County, you could get a house that's $450,000, but in Nassau County, that same house might be the 726. So you need to be able to know your areas, and no matter which state you're at.
How are we getting our loans, our offers accepted with a Naca loan?
Here's one important one, right? So I already said you need to have money in order for you to do Naca, right? I'm like a real New Yorker talking with my hands.
Please
But
Give it to me. Please give me the
so
New York
if
vibes.
you have $50,000, $60,000, right, and your house is $500,000 that you're trying to purchase, $50,000 of it is 10%. So you are no longer putting down 3.5%. Now you're putting down 10%. You're gonna get that money back anyway. Let it ride. Put everything on it. Max out. You got $100,000. This looks better than the person, even with FHA that's not doing Naca, with a bank that's preferred from the listing agent. You know, 10% down, 15% down looks so much better than 3.5% down. And that's what a lot of people are missing. Like, they have the money, they're going to get it back. Naca's 100% financing. One last thing that will say is that Naca doesn't always have to be 100% financing.
We're listening.
Put the 3.5% on the principal if you got it.
There you go. If you're an agent, I hope you took notes and you paid attention, because at least these two tips will help you better represent your clients and get your offers accepted in this very competitive market. But you also are looking out for the best interest of your clients by allowing them to use a program, because that interest rate is unbeatable. It is unbeatable.
The interest rate is dope. So what's the interest rate for Naca right now?
As of right now, see, now there's two.
Hold on. Disclaimer.
Yes.
Disclaimer. This is for today.
Today only.
Today only. Today is, what day is this we filming this? Like, what's today? Somebody tell me today. What's today?
Today is the 5th.
Today is March 5th, people, when we filming this. You might see this in April 5th, all right? So you check with your loan officer for those rates of that day. But as of today.
As of today.
What are
so
the rates?
as of today is 3% and 4%. And the reason why there's
3% or 4%?
Or 4, not
Explain
2.
this to us.
Okay, so now with Naca, you're either a non-priority member or you are a priority member.
What's the difference?
So we're going to use New York numbers, and I could also use Georgia numbers. So the track median income percentage for New York is 85,000. For Georgia, it's 82,000. So if you make 85,000 or 82,000 or less, you are considered to be a non-priority member. That's even if it's $1 under, you are a priority member starting off at the lower interest rate. However, if you make $1 more, you are now starting off at the higher interest rate. However, if you're purchasing in an area that is considered to be low to moderate income, you are now a priority member. It doesn't matter if you make $300,000 or $400,000. If you're purchasing somewhere that's considered to be, low cost, then you are now considered to be a priority member, and you start off with the lower interest rate.
Okay, y'all understood that?
Yeah.
Okay. So you start off at that 3%, then you can buy it down.
Then you could buy your interest rate down.
What can you buy down to right now, today?
As of
March 5th.
As of March 5th, if you
You gotta say that because people are
You
nuts.
do.
They're like, I heard you on Rants and Gyms, you said the rate was this, and it may come out a month from now, and it may be 2% higher. So you gotta let the people know.
So if you are a non-priority member, you can only buy down 5 points, which is
Only 5 points?
only 5 points, but that's still a lot,
That's a lot of damn points.
which is 1.25% that you can buy down. It comes off. If you are a priority member, you can buy 7 points,
Wow.
which, what is that, 1.75?
Damn. So you can get a seller's concession to pay that.
Right, so they only cap what you bring to the table. They don't cap what the seller brings to you. So if the seller gives you more money, you can buy down even more.
That's
So
amazing.
even if you're capped at the 5 or the 7 points and the seller decides to give you more money,
Take the money.
rock out.